ran out of time. Effort fed a felony, fill thoughts upon iridescent climb. Plus the numbers you've arose haven't vanquished the foes in your hands. Soon enough you're gonna have to tell them to justify war. But there'll be change in the pockets of traditions we adore. Mountain may well be maintained. Mountain may well be maintained.
So we're musicians, we play in a band called Mobius Loop, and a lot of our songs are about hemp revolution. We do write songs about many different things and socially conscious political ideas, and a lot of veganism in there and a lot of green ideas. And then we do gigs everywhere, and we try, and a lot of the time people don't know what we're singing about because our music can be very engaging, and people have a dance and a smile and we're having a great time, but you know, hidden in there is some really conscious lyrics. And
well, this is the Beautiful Planet Community Green Centre. We volunteered here for about 4 years now. It's been open about 6 years, and it started with, you know, always to establish green politics in Preston.
Lucky is out because we've got this great community cafe here where it's a co-op and we can all use it equally. So our way of dealing with it is to put on these events where we can decide, like, we don't serve animal products here, and then it's a beautiful, peaceful environment to be in.
That's available.
Yeah, we don't serve cheese or butter, but for some reason we serve cow's milk because people are so used to that. And people literally come in and say, can I have some normal milk?
But it's because this place caters for the generations that are very much used to having 10 cups of tea a day or coffee with milk, with cow's milk.
But a lot of the young people that come in here, a lot of them are downstairs now, they come to our event, and they're all on herbal teas. And they're so young and able to process new ideas that you'd say, oh, do you want to try some hemp milk? And they'll be like, oh, I'll give it a try. You know, whereas sometimes people are so calcified in their ways that they'll say, but I don't like hemp milk. They've never tried it, but I don't like it, and I want what I'm used to. And I think certain members of our community think we might drive those people away.
But so many positive things occurring that it doesn't really matter. We just need to stay true to our morals, you know, and know that we're speaking truth.
So people say, oh, what about all the customers you might lose? And we say, well, what about all the customers we might gain? Emotionally sometimes as well. We're all emotional beings, aren't we?
We've broken down a few times in the shop.
Yeah, we've been upset. Like, I've woken up in the middle of the night crying at times, being upset because of how this been doing on a mass scale. But like Alex says, you know, what have we got to gain from if people are mistreating chickens over there and we never see it? Like, that doesn't bother us. Essentially, we could just carry on our lives and save up and go on holiday over here and never bother about that, you know. But the fact that it does bother us and upsets us, it gives me a great hope for humanity, because I think humans are very compassionate, and why should I care about a chicken? You know, it doesn't bother me, but the fact that I do care, and the fact you care and a lot of our community do really, it upsets them to see such an injustice. It gives me so much hope because we're really compassionate, aren't we, as humans? And then that's why we again come back down to the music and the human connection and sharing things as humans and not getting upset with other humans for not knowing. You know, we can't expect everyone to know straight away because we didn't know just 2 years ago. And I'm really glad that people told me and said, did you know this about cow's milk? And I got upset and I went and researched and I was like, I didn't know that. I didn't even know that they made cows pregnant to get milk. And you learn that and you feel a bit stupid and you think, how did I not know that? When a woman doesn't just give milk, you know, she has to be pregnant. They don't. They're so naughty.
You know, like millions of pounds are being spent on doing something carefully and cleverly, aren't they? And it's just, you know, what colour scheme should we use in the adverts? What sort of music should we use?
Like the laughing cow, how absurd is that? Dairy Lee, they call it the laughing cow, and they got a picture of a laughing cow, and it's the opposite of what it is. It's actually a crying cow. So, and they do it all the time. They say the opposite of what it is, and so they're selling chicken. Happy meals, yeah. It's lying to people, basically. It's fooling people, it's lying to them, and it's making them buy into an idea that is so built on suffering and pain. And yes, suffering and pain is part of life, but we don't need to make it any worse. Like, humans already feel suffering and pain, but if we locked them up, kept them in a room, made them pregnant, took the babies, they're going to feel far more suffering than they would if they were living out in the wild. And yes, suffering's a natural part of life, you know. For you, I don't know.
We work with children in Brookfield who've been expelled, and one girl there's been really inspired by us working with her, and she's embraced veganism. When she first started, she went to see a doctor and told him I don't know if it was a he or a she actually, told him or her about it, and they just went mental at her.
Told her that it's really, really bad for her to do that.
Yeah.
And that,
in the last few months.
But it's based on the education, because that person saying that to that kid, but we've found out that all the minerals and nutrients we need come from the earth, they come from the ground. All the iron and zinc and calcium and anything that our body could possibly need comes from the earth. Even the B12, it's in the dirt and stuff. When we eat animals, we're only eating the minerals they got from the earth. So for a doctor who's obviously been told to say that, because the British Dietetic Association are telling people to eat meat and dairy, because they've been paid a lot of money to tell them that, because we know that all our minerals come from the ground.
And we know that money is power.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so difficult then to raise this conversation with people, and especially when try and speak to people and they can't grasp it, because it's tricky. We've been growing up eating these foods, mass-produced unhappy animals. That's going to do something to you. I must get it.
Back to the girl we teach. She then went and asked her teacher, is it possible to bake a cake without eggs? And they give her a straight no.
No, and she said, how can I make a cake without animal products in it? Because the kid didn't even know. She didn't even know what vegan was. The young girl didn't know. She didn't know what vegan was, but she loves animals, and she decided she didn't want to eat anything that comes out of an animal. So she said to a teacher, how can I make a cake without anything from an animal in it? And the teacher said, well, that's impossible. But a lot of doctors will do acknowledge, like Nathan says, a lot of doctors will acknowledge that a plant-based diet is the healthiest thing for a human to be on, and there's no cholesterol in plant products, and so it's healthier, it's better, it avoids heart disease and cholesterol build-up and all these other things. So a lot of doctors are acknowledging that, aren't they? But at the same time, there's when they went to school, they were told that they needed to eat animal products because people selling animal products paid them to say that. It must be that, because these products haven't got anything nutritious for us in them. The milk is being pasteurised beyond nutrition. There's nothing nutritious in it. The meat is full of hormones, growth hormones, and upset, just the resonation of that animal being scared and confused.
Okay, when we did it together, it started as an ethical problem that we couldn't get along with in our brains. We just couldn't fathom it. We didn't know that we were going to eat healthier when we did veganism. And we didn't start eating loads of whole food straight away. We just rejected the idea that we were engaging with directly with that slaughter and that level of pain and suffering.
And we live with a great community of people, because there's so many vegans in Preston now. There's a huge community, and we can go to our mate's house for a meal, and go to our other mate's house for a meal, and we invite you guys over. And because people say to us, oh, you can go vegan, but you'll never be able to eat out again. And that's changing rapidly. There's loads of great food. But then we say to them, it is, isn't it? And it is growing, and it is a beautiful. I'm really happy about that.
That's what trends should be,
I'm really proud of
everyone. Should be rooted in compassion and positive.
I do think it's changed.
Because she obviously, like the small community in Beautiful Planet last few years has been making people go, I need to do it. There's so many reasons, like you've already said.
There's a huge vegan community in Preston, and we're so proud of everyone.
It's developing,
it is, and it's not that it's not like we're well, we are in a way. We're really proud of everyone going for that and trying it out. But we've got a lot of love for all humans, and we want everyone to be able to embrace that. But I agree with you. I think hemp and veganism is the way that we can get out of this hole that we're digging for ourselves. And those two things will heal the environment, the people, the health, the animals. We want to focus our attention on the alternatives and the better things. So we got hemp, amazing hemp. Imagine if we didn't even have hemp. It's astonishing that it even exists, isn't it? It's got all the nutrient we need. It can grow in any terrain. It can grow in England. It never needs pesticides. It can make a milk. It can grind up to be put on any food.
Can make all our clothes. We make all our fuel off it. We can grow concrete bricks out of it. You could literally Henry Ford designed the shell of the car out of hemp, and it ran on hemp. Rudolf Diesel, like 50 years before, designed the diesel engine to run on plant oils, which included hemp. It has the ability to recreate society, doesn't it?
Once you realise one thing, if they did that with hemp, then what else did they do that with? If they've done that with animal products, then what else did they do that with? And if you start to uncover these things, then you then start to doubt the entire infrastructure of everything.
Before we found out about Jack Herrer, I remember finding out about Tesla and how he wanted to give everybody free energy, electricity. It's like, I can harness it, I can put big towers, I can send it to everyone, thanks so much for funding me, JP Morgan. And JP Morgan's like literally crushed him, took all the plans and went about, charging everyone in their individual homes how to harness a free sort of power of energy.
And charging everyone weekly, monthly bills, so everyone has to pay the bills. You know, and he even said to Tesla, if I can't put a meter on it, then I'm not gonna go with that idea.
I knew that way before I discovered what hemp was, and that just coupled with that, and it's around the same time as actually Rudolf Diesel. It's just maybe that happened just before or just after the turn of the 20th century. And loads of these, I'm guessing, inventors, which many would probably have been women, but obviously their rights have been crushed in his story, and the point being that, you know, it seems that we've reached the pinnacle in design and developing cars and stuff like that, and machines, according to history, and then people were like, whoa, we're going to charge everybody for these things individually, rather than allowing us to just breed a society of peace and harmony and love. But you know, if we can live by rules that were very negative in the past, surely we can live by rules that are very positive in the future. If everyone can be like, black slavery's fine, let's put up with this and whip people and stuff, then surely we can live in the future with love and peace for all sentient creatures. You know, it ain't going to be that much hard work, is it, really, putting up with a rule like that?
So there is things that we can do about these things. We can share ideas and write art, make art about these things, you know, make our art and make our life about disseminating this knowledge with others. That's a big one.
Bird and the fish, we all live with each other in this Neanderthal wish. Communicate together, be patient and true, and know when cultivation gets the better of Soon enough you're gonna have to tiptoe to pick off the fruits, since all them branches with them berries are growing further from their roots. Knowledge wasn't always so rife, and foraging was a means of gathering the wonders of life for the many